as you said, the lumber industry is has its own specific situation in this, given the amount that is exported to the U.S. And President Trump has specifically pointed out lumber and said, we can produce our own. We have our own forests here. And this morning he did repeat it. He said, we don't need them to give us lumber. Couldn't they fill that 25% gap themselves? And can you really blame them for pursuing that?
Well, I don't think that's really true. I think like currently, given their demand, they only supply about 70% of their domestic needs, and so they're importing 30% from elsewhere, and the majority of that is coming from Canada. And so when you sort of impose these duties and tariffs, that increases the cost of those imports. And so what we expect is that we just see price increases in the U.S. And so they can provide a little bit more lumber within their supply, but there's no way that they can replace the imports coming from Canada.
And what about Canada and BC replacing the U.S. as an important market? Premier Eby has been talking more about diversification of trade partners. How likely is that for the lumber industry?
Well, it's something that we've been working on for a long time, diversifying our markets. And in British Columbia, we're better positioned than other parts of Canada to diversify our markets, in particular to the Asia Pacific region. But there's limited opportunities for that. It's something that we should pursue, and this is an area where we can get support from the province and the federal government on. There's a lot of competition in the global marketplace, and so we have to make sure that we're competitive in those markets. But it is something that we will be pursuing, and I think, though, it's important to acknowledge that the U.S. is just so important for the softwood lumber industry in British Columbia. About 75% of our exports are destined to the U.S.